Okay, so deck list for the Raccoon deck that I took with me to locals today. Now, as stated, before the local, I actually buy some Dragons of Legend packs, and I pulled a couple of Rock Sunrises. I believe I did mention this in the Dragons of Legend box opening I just did. Reason I didn't throw them in, because I didn't actually throw them in, but because I could not be bothered working out what I actually wanted to cut, because that's still because the whole thing trying to fit the Rock Sunrises in is still being a bit of a mystery to me at this current stage. So just see what happens. So yeah, took this is the 3-2 top 8, whatever, I don't care. I basically just took Raccoons. I actually did pretty damn well. They put in the work against Vidalche's Gravekeepers, that sort of jazz. So, time to just get on with the deck list. So, being Raccoons, kind of got to have your triple Pompoko, triple Tantan. Pompoko gets you your Tantan, and then Tantan will get you all of your others. Shenanigans, you have this, and you go first turn Pompoko and get the Tantan, and they are completely unaffected. Your opponent can't do anything on that turn. You can commit a shit ton of damage the following turn, as well as blasting opponent's back row out of the way, which is always quite nice. So as for Tantan targets, we have the primary one in the form of Double Kalantosa, blow up a card when it's summoned by the effect of a beast, which is quite nice. I never want to play it at 3 though, because it is a shit card to draw into. It's terrible. It's really not that good unless you have like some kind of card that can just special summon beasts from the hand, in which case it would not be so bad, but I'm not too sure if there's anything like that on a beast type monster. So yeah. One of Kitten, I might bump this up to 2, I'm not too sure. It put in a fair bit of work and was nice to summon if I didn't have like Sea Koala or Elephant available for Obedience School. Then we have Tree Otter, which did a pretty good job with its pumping up effect. Put in the work. Sea Koala, I think I did actually get its effect off once, so it put in the work. Most of the time I would side it out for the second and third games, but in the games in which I played it, it did pretty well. It served its purpose. It was either overlay unit or got its effect off. Elephant, this awesome source tune that you use to go into, that you can make first turn Sundayu Beast play. 2 Mind Mole, the card that makes the first turn Sundayu Beast play even more busted. Thing is, this is a level 3 beast. It's an earth as well. And when it's sent to the graveyard for the synchro summon of a beast type synchro, you draw a card. This basically can give you a first turn Sundayu Beast with the 22 token and as much as 5 back row. You are pretty much, if you have a field of that, you're pretty much sorted. The only reason I'm not running 3 is because it can be pretty dead to draw, even though it is actually a bit of a bite. It can sponge a hit before dying, which is quite nice. The only negative part is that if this face up on the field and gets blown up by something like Bear, it gets banished. So it's not going to commit its 100 points to Closed Forest, which is a bit of a shame. But aside from that, it's basically there to make the first turn Sundayu Beast play even more busted, because of the plus you get off of Synchro Knack Beast with it. We have 2 Junk Synchron, which put in a lot of good work. Saw Armadez, saw Fitzy. And actually, no, I don't believe I've summoned Fitzy. I'll go through the extra deck once I get it, but yeah, Junk Synchron facilitates more Synchro plays, especially the 5s. Then Thunder King, which was actually really, really nice. It screwed over Medolce, a couple of my Medolce matchups, which was nice. Then Spells, the godly ace card of the deck in the form of Triple Obedience Schooled. This thing is busted. 3 level 2 beasts with different names from the deck, provided you control no monsters. This plus a level 2 this plus another level 2 Earth Beast is either first turn double Sundayu or Sundayu Beast using the token. This plus Mind Mole equals first turn Sundayu Beast with the 22 token. So yeah, that's basically why I considered Mind Mole to be an even better situation. I'll try to demonstrate the combo for those who are still a little bit confused. I'll do that at the end of the video. So then we've got 3 MST, standard sort of stuff. Then 1 book, 1 dark hole. there's nothing more. It's pretty much the most standard spell lineup. Some people like to main their closed forests. I would love to main the closed forests, but I found myself having to relegate them to the sides, which is unfortunate. So, traps, 3 Fiendish Chain. The first time I've ever tried Fiendish Chain at 3, and it put in so much work, and a breakthrough skill. Breakthrough skill was like whenever I saw it, it put in a little bit of work. I'm not too sure about it though. I might actually just cut this. Because I found myself siding this out a lot of the time and just sticking with the 3 Fiendishes, with the exception of the Dragon match in top 8. I went and cut a Breakthrough and a Fiendish, but that's about it. 2D prisons, they were good when I saw them. Their replacements when I sided them out were also pretty damn awesome, so I have to say it wasn't so bad. Usually I'd side maybe one out, but I think in one game I sided both of them out. Compulse, because it's the thing. I don't believe I've decided that out. Bottomless, Torrential, Mirror, Warning. And then for the last few cards, I've got a main deck Blackhorn, which actually put in the work. I Blackhorned a Pleiades first game. Even though I lost, it's still putting in some pretty good work, and I think it is actually kind of worthy to. I think it is actually main deck worthy. Like even at 1, because I've only got the 1 copy of it. Then I have 7 tools, which put in the work. Needle Sealing, which is a random tech, and I actually managed to get this thing off. Most of the time I would side it out. I don't ask me why, because in some cases it probably would have actually been helpful to have this, but it is what it is. And then last card is a Burst Rebirth, which I'm probably just gonna take out for an Ayers Rock Sunrise. Because I'm not too sure about Burst Rebirth nowadays. It's good for getting, it's good for resetting a Tantan, but that's pretty much about it. Like if I wanted to get Nat Beast, I would just Ayers Rock Sunrise it, because I'd get it back, plus my opponent will lose a shit ton of attack. So that's the thing. Extra deck, 3 Sundayu, the mainstay of the deck. I did not get the 3rd one off, but of course, mind you, the 3rd one is pretty much a bit of a necessity, which is because it puts in a whole bunch of work. Let me actually zoom in a little bit. But yeah, you basically have 2 of these on the board. It locks your opponent out of destroying them. So, unfortunately though, I went up against Medolches and Constellas, who both had outs to this, who both had easily summonable outs. Their aces are actually outs to this card, which is a bit of a shame. But, oh well, it's a thing. 1 Herald of Pure Light, which I got off a grand total of once in the entire tournament. It's not exactly something you'd see every day of the week, but it's actually quite nice, because I did get a Kalatosis shuffled back into the deck, and I managed to get its use off, which I didn't complain about. Then we have a Diguster Phoenix, which facilitates more, just putting more damage on board. And then 2 Downer Magician, because in my testing I found that 2 was really, really nice, especially if I've got like 2 useless Sundayus and I want to go for a more offensive play. I would just make the 2 Downards. I would just turn the Sundayus, both Sundayus into Downards, and then just sit on that until next turn, and then just swing with their piercing abilities. Balmung, I believe I saw this once. Yeah, I saw this once, round 1. Fitzy, I think I saw this once. I think I might have seen this once. I'm not 100% sure. Armades, easily the most used level 5 Synchro of the day. Actually, I think it might just be tied with Naturia Beast, but yeah. Junk Warrior, I got this off to complete an OTK round 2. That's about it. Catastar, I don't think I actually summoned Catastar at once at all. I'm not too sure. Nat Beast, it's a Nat Beast. First turn, that with the Sundew was always nice. Barkion, which I never saw, and Black Rose again, which I never saw, but it was there in case I was able to go into it using Junk Synchro, because that's a nice little critter to have. Now for the side deck, I have 2 Max C, sided it in against all of the Medolches. The only match I didn't side it in against was Gravekeepers. 2 system down for the Gigi matchup. I did not see Gigias at all today, so they were useless. 2 Close Forest, sided this in just about every game. like I said, I'd love to main it, but at this moment I've had to relegate it to the side. Soul Drain, which would have been nice had I not been wing beated game 2 in the top 8. Dust Tornado, Chain Whirlwind, cited these in a fair few times and never saw them at all. I'm actually quite astonished at that. I was disappointed. 2 Skill Prisoner, cited these in and again never saw them, which was kind of terrible. Mind Crush, I believe I saw this a grand total of once when I cited, and I never actually used it. It was sitting on the board. It was sitting on the board as dead. Light Mirror, cleaned Constella's up game 2 because he went excited to nuke the field, and I just flipped this and he had nothing. He couldn't do a single thing. That was it. He was basically screwed, which was kind of hilarious. So, anyways, for those who are wondering about the broken first turn Sunday you beast play, this is basically how you do it. Provided you have a Obedient Schooled and a Mind Mole, this is pretty much all you need in your opening hand. So you basically, I'll zoom out actually. Yeah, basically you want to go Obedient Schooled, and you want to put not Popoko. You just want to go basically. I usually like just going one of each of the Raccoons and then the Elephant, and then from there you basically overlay them, make the Sandayu. You then normal summon your Mind Mole, and these two will synchro and make you your Nat Beast. And when that happens, you'll get a draw off of the Mind Mole, so you can have. So after this, so once you have this board established, you should have 5 cards in your hand. You should have 5 cards in your hand here, and then from using that, you would then get a token on the board. That's basically how the setup would be. And like I said, you could have as much as 5 back row, so you could just set all that on the board. Like at least 3 makes your opponent shit bricks. So this is an infinitely better option to go for than to just use your token to go into Naturia Beast. And that's pretty much all I have to say. And to be perfectly honest, Key Mouse is another option. I don't like Key Mouse in this deck. I really don't, because it's just a first turn beast, and you don't have Sunder, you don't have much to protect it. Naturia Beast is a good card, but Naturia Beast only stops spells. It can't stop traps. That's the thing. They'll just get around it some other way. And if your opponent can't get over this, then you draw another card. You get another 2,200 tokens. So you got 6,600 on board. You got 7,600. You still have a monster slot. If you drop something like a Tree Otter, you've essentially got game. Especially if you've got those 5 back row, because hopefully you should have something like 7 tools ready. And it's basically just. It basically, you see a field like this, you pretty much have my permission to scoop. That's basically what it comes down to. Unless you can pull something unless you can just pull something out of your ass. So that's the whole reason behind using Mind Mole in this deck. Unfortunately, I did not actually get it off once. I consider that to be I call that just terrible luck. That's all I'm gonna say about it. It's terrible luck. It would be cool to have to just run 3 Mind Mole, but I find that impractical and pretty much unnecessary. Yeah, lol for System Shock 2 references. So that's it for my Raccoon deck. I'm gonna modify this, and basically just wanted to profile the exact deck that I use, because I'm gonna immediately make some modifications to fit the Air's Sunrise, and maybe see if I can fit a Soul Charge in there. I'm not too sure, because the whole thing with because I used to run 2 Burst Rebirths, but I cut that down to 1 because I didn't like the amount of life point payment I was shelling out, because I'd have had 2 Burst Rebirths plus this. Like, I would not be able to have that along with Soul Charge. It just would not. I just would not have liked it at all. So that's why I cut down to 1. And Air's Sunrise is probably why I'm just going to cut it down to, cut it out of the deck completely. So we'll just have to see what happens. But that's it for the deck list. So Don't know what I'm doing next. I don't know, just whatever. Just see what happens in the near future. So, see you for whatever it is that I do next.